Welcome to Ragan Training. The following clip is an excerpt from a full course available exclusively to Ragan Training subscribers.
When you're creating content for social media and considering AI search or GEO, there are 6 points that you'll want to consider for that content. And I don't know if you have a journalism background or you're maybe a former journalism student or a reformed journalist, but the thing we learned in journalism school was this notion of the inverted pyramid, and it's never held more true than now, that you want to start with the key topic and provide the key value the first thing right off with your post. Oftentimes for a social media post, that's going to be the key question for your audience, and then that key response following that key question. The second thing, and again, this applies really for folks who have worked in long-form content. Think of blog. You often see this in a blog, is continued follow-up questions or related questions. And those want to be structured therein of a social media post as subheadings with, again, the follow-up question, the follow-up answer to the question, or the follow-up response. The third thing that works if you're not using follow-up questions, and AI search and GEO love this when they see this in content. Think of a listicle. Yes, listicles are back. Listicles are back. Or flywheels. They love AI search. I'm speaking in they. AI search loves structured content, whether it's a checklist, a flywheel, a listicle. Yes, they're back. Include that in your content. And you may be saying, this is all extremely prescriptive. The next place is where your content and your storytelling should shine. Be precise and descriptive. Tell that story. You want to still include this. I've called this the Oreo approach to social media content in the world of AI search and GEO. We know the good stuff's in the middle anyway. Include that story, but include the details, the strong details of that story in those elements. Now, the trappings or the concern when you get into storytelling is sometimes you start to inject it with too much. So item 5 in this checklist of ours related to content is really about keeping things straightforward, right? It's retaining that humanity and making sure that you're including a straightforward approach. You're really answering the question in a human way that's a natural language, and you're not filling this post with a lot of jargon, right? So it may be a brand name that you need to remove. And this is the important thing of context. Think about everything. This is point 6. Think about everything in relationship to context and the lens your audience would think through. This all goes back to audience considerations. What are the questions your audience would be asking? And you provide the answer in context of the solution that you're providing, whether it's a product or service. They may not know your brand name, so they're trying to find you based on your value proposition. So that is point 6. So to go through the 6 again, point 1 is to lead with that key question and the response. Point 2 is to follow up for related questions and responses. Point 3 is structure. If you love that structure, a checklist, some sort of other framework like a flywheel, include it. Okay? Point 4 is retain storytelling, but be descriptive as possible. That's where your storytelling really gets to shine. 5, stay straightforward. No jargon, please. And 6, think like your audience and provide it in the context they need.